This video is to show one of the potential issues with the LX Twin F22 model when you build it. It has to do with the elevator. Basically, the elevator is held on by this this piece here. Okay, this piece, this side of it, goes to the fuselage, and this piece is going to the elevator. Okay. So if you look at this, it's this piece here, right? Move this. So basically the piece that's going to the elevator is just a little bit more than 1 inch. And if you look, you're basically gluing that surface to the elevator. Well, the elevator is quite large, right? So this is a piece that I used as actually came off of the F22 and mine crashed due to this, okay? But basically this piece goes right in here like this, okay? So you can see that this is a very large control surface, and you've got very little of the area to work with as far as gluing it and securing this piece, which is the only piece that holds the elevator onto the aircraft, securing this piece onto the elevator, right? If this piece breaks loose, which it did in my case, the elevator comes off, and then you don't have a very happy day. Okay, so I wanted to make a mod to correct this, and this is really specific to this type of elevator, where it's the full elevator on the aircraft, as opposed to some of the half elevators, where basically they cut this in half and they make a horizontal stabilizer, and this portion of it is glued to the airframe, and then this portion right here is has hinges and it can go up and down. Okay, but I wanted to keep the full elevator. Okay, so looking at other models, Freewing specifically, what they've done is to put a plastic piece in here, and that gives you much more surface area to glue to the elevator. Plus, it's much longer than what's here. Okay, with this little, just a little bit more than 1 inch. Okay, so that's how they do it. Even on their 64, the smaller 64 models, they still put a plastic piece in here. Okay, so what I did was to build a couple of plastic pieces here. So here you can see that this is a 3D printed bracket here to mount onto the elevator, and then I also did the same thing onto the fuselage. Okay, the metal components here are taken from a Freewing F14. And I'll have a picture of that in the video as to what those part numbers are. But now you can see that this thing has full motion, and it's much more secure. If you look here, look at the difference here in how affixed to the elevator is. Much more secure as far as the mounting. Okay, so I've done both of these. Okay, I'll actually put these parts, links to these parts in the description below, and put them out on Thingiverse if people want to print them. And then you have to get the parts from Motion for the Freewing hardware. Basically, it's two items you have to purchase. You have to purchase the this control horn, okay, and then you purchase this rod that's basically running through here. Okay, that would be everything that you need. So here you can see the parts that are needed to put this together. So at the top you see the two printed pieces and where they go on the fuselage and on the elevator respectively. And then you can see the rod there that goes through there, and that's the orientation for it. There, the ring goes on the right hand side of the rod where that little notch is in the right part. And then the two big screws go into the piece that goes into the fuselage, and those screws go into those little grooves on the left-hand side of the rod. And then that little screw and the ring there, that's the ring that goes on to the end of the rod where that notch is. Okay, and you'll see a picture with some of this put together. Here you have to cut out some of the foam to make the pieces fit. You can see how I've done that on both sets. Okay, and then this is fully installed. You can see the little ring on the right hand side of the elevator. These are the parts that you need for the hardware. And this knife right here you can use to cut a very thin layer out of the foam, you know, to make the piece fit. I mean, you could also use a single sided razor blade too as well, but this one's kind of nice in that it's got a nice long blade, and it works pretty well. For the two plastic brackets, I'll post a link to Thingiverse where you can get these parts and download the files to 3D print them.